Hello everybody, thank you for joining us. Today we're going to do a quick sketch of a hand posture, and we're doing something like this. We have a video that focused on a gesture like that, I think, but we are showing this from a different angle from the top, sort of like that. So slightly more challenging angle when it comes to this kind of illustration, but a very useful illustration nonetheless. So we can begin by putting in a bell shape for the hand. There's the wrist. Now we can work our way up from this angle, from the thumb up. So if you like, you can just put in some shapes first like that, and then we can just work around that curve and this oval right here. So 1 and 2, just that much, because we are looking at this from not just from the top but also slightly like that. So there's a bit of foreshortening where things will appear smaller on this side rather than here. So they're the largest here because we are looking at it from that is the viewpoint. And then let's put in a set of shapes again now. 1 and 2. So that will be the this hand, this part of the hand going upward, and we go into the knuckle set right around here. Make sure that it's not too much higher than thumb. Now knuckle set is usually like so. If this was the left hand from the palm view, so index finger, tallest finger, second tallest finger, small finger, and so highest and then lowest point. But here, since we're looking at it from a different perspective, still we can maintain a certain arc, but only like going a little more flat. And we throw in some knuckles. 1, 2 right next to it, 3 and 4. And we can begin putting in 1, 2, 3, index finger. This finger, since it's meeting the thumb, 1, 2 and 3. It's a little confusing, but it'll get better. 1, 2 and 3, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's see what we can do with these guys now. So we put in sausages with thumb first, 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3. Right next to it, 1, 2, 3. That is the middle finger. I know like this is a little messy right now, but as we mentioned, it will get better when we do some dark markers and stuff. 2, 3 and 1. So we've moved it. We have moved the entire set a little bit, and we can change things as we go along, but we had put in some knuckle framework for guidance, and we can always change things so I saw it that we should maybe constrict the fingers more together. I think it works better that way. And then the little finger is right there, and then of course the top of the hand, the flatter part, going into the wrist there, and that going into the wrist from the other end. And now we can put in some framework. So right around the thumb. So it's really, when it comes to fingers, the thumb, the skin of the hand, it's like really a convergence of shapes. 1, 2, I'm going right in there. 1, 2, that's a little streamlined there. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. And then here is the flat end of the finger. Let's make that a little more chunky. So, and this could be more pointy here because it's the nail that is going to eventually stick out right there. And the next finger going deeply in to meet the thumb. So there's the knuckle, and there's the finger right there. Next finger, again, like just the convergence of shapes. End of the knuckle, and then 1, 2, 3. So we've got the fingers going together, and we can of course like get this finger like straight up if you want, but I think like this is more realistic, putting in the nails right there. Nail here might or might not show. Here again, into the nail. Finger lines. Skin folds. And that is pretty much the sketch complete. Now, if you want to throw in some tones, let's imagine a light source coming from the top. So some tones can go right there, and of course the all important creases there for the thumb. Of course, this all depends on how intense the light source is. But usually something around these lines. Here again in the deeper end of the creases, the skin folds. This could very well be in like partial shadow, I guess. Usually you show a hint of the skin fold area if you like, but not necessarily. And then of course we have to make sure that not all of the tones are consistent like throughout, because So we worked a little bit on the tones here, just adding in pencil like graphite crosshatch, and of course we can build on the tones and on the texture, on the shapes as we want. But what we did is threw in some quick details of how this could work for us. What is the use of this kind of illustration? I mean, this is a very utilized hand gesture, and as such we can, let's say that we are illustrating a panel where we want to show a person maybe encouraging some supporters that are like standing below his platform. You could just show a hint of his head right here, like looking out, show that hand, a multitude of people here, shown in any way that we want, of course. But so that's like one immediate use, and of course it's very expressive position, use of the hand, one of the most expressive gestures. So, but from this angle, and we can again play around with different elements, see which works better for us, and then utilize that accordingly. Let me just put a little smudge here quickly so that this appears a little more smoother than it is. So here we have it, one quick exercise in putting that hand gesture out. Please do try it out. Please do subscribe, keep in touch. Thank you for watching, and have yourself a wonderful day.